Alright. Only reason I'm here is to tell you that there's a war going on between me and my head. Think of it as a journal. I I don't know who I am or what I'm supposed to do now. I've lived a difficult life, but a lot of people have lived a difficult life. So what I'm trying to do is cope with mine. Many people that I knew couldn't cope with it, so they ended up killing themselves. And so I'm here left alone, dealing with my own consequences, with my own actions that I have to, you know, live with through my life. And yes, it does suck. Yes, my life was hell. But what I want to tell to certain people is I may joke around, things may seem like my life is just a big fat living joke, but it's not. You wanna know why I have these scars? It's because I fought my entire life to be where I am today. I didn't ask for this lifestyle. It was forced upon me because of the environment that I was surrounded by. As a child, just to let you know, as a child, I never thought that I would come clean about my true lifestyle until now. I can no longer hide it. No longer do I feel like I need to. Because, I mean, what's the fucking point? Am I right? I could die any day now. So I'm going to tell you. As a child, through secrecy, I was abused. And I was tortured. And I was beaten. Not by my mother, but by my father. My father's name, from what my mom thinks his name is Jerry Cox. But what his real name is Jerry McGarvey Jr. He is full-blooded Scandinavian. He grew up in Scandinavia as a child and then came here to America raised by his mother. When I was born, he left me as a baby. My mom gave birth to me. I was born premature, only 4 pounds. From what I know, from my birth record. After that, I grew up as a child with my mother. She raised me as good as she could. She tried to give me everything that she possibly could, raising me. Even though she was not ready for a child at the age of 41, she still tried to give me the life of a good child. But she wasn't able to use all of her power. Why? Because she fell under the influence of drinking, which is not a problem in my book. Because you know what? She still took care of me. So I don't give a fuck what you motherfuckers have to say. She raised me and she took care of me. She tried her best to protect me. She didn't know everything that was going on in my life. Of course, yes. Because I didn't want to tell her. Growing up as a kid, slowly but surely, I was abused by my father. But in a way, in my head, I thought of it as a game because he was telling me that it was going to make me tougher, turn me into a warrior, which I didn't think was true at the time because I was a kid and I was filled with fear and emotion and sadness. A lot of my family, including a lot of my cousins, thought that I was crying because I was being a crybaby and I was being a sissy or a pussy. And I was this type of kid that was, so goody two shoes. And really, I was just trying to hide the pain that was being brought upon me through my abuse. But I didn't say a word. I kept it to myself. For all those years, I kept it to myself. And as I grew older, I grew stronger. I was attacked. The older I got, things grew worse. Because it went from just punches to knives, and from knives to guns. And the punishment grew worse and worse. And the torture grew worse and worse. I lived my life as a child, suffering, thinking of everything, and hoping that it would end one day. But it never did. It never ended. And slowly but surely I became a soldier in my own mind, because all I knew was torture and war. And then it was able to stop. I met a few people that showed me love and compassion in my life. And it was different. It was different from everything that was going on in my life. And I felt better. But then they left. And then I was alone once again. It's like I'm alone now. You know what I live with? I live with my demons. I don't live with my family. I'm sorry to the families that I do have that sees this video, but y'all are my cousins, and I love y'all to death. Y'all are my aunts, y'all are my uncles, and I love y'all with all my heart. But in the end, you're never here. You didn't see what I went through. You didn't see the torture that I went through. You barely know me, but you think you know me. But you don't. You weren't here. Just like I wasn't there for you. So when we see each other, it's almost like we're skipping lives, and then we see each other. What does that mean? That means that when you see me, does it really mean that you would sit there and take a bullet for me? No, you wouldn't. Let's face it, you wouldn't. You take a bullet for your own family before you would me. Why? Because you barely know me. You know me as a cousin, as a nephew, but you don't know me. You weren't here. You didn't see, and you didn't suffer. And even if you did suffer in your own life, you didn't suffer like I had to. Because, see, my madness is pure beyond everything. It's beyond my face, my body. It's everything that I've been through. And it's something you will never understand. And that is why, eventually, I will die. Not because I want to, but because I have to. Because I was so screwed up in my childhood that I'm not able to comprehend everything towards my future. I can't comprehend anything. God has given me the strength to fight this long only because of my mother. I'm looking after her, not myself. If you thought I was looking after myself, you're a fool. Because myself is a dead end. I've been a dead end. I just hope and pray maybe one day, if I have hope, and I continue to stay strong, things will be different. But until then, there's nothing I can do. I just want you to know. Don't tell me that you're my family when you're never here. Because you know what? Yeah, you may be my blood, but you're not my family. Because you know what? Family checks upon me. Family texts me or calls me and says, how am I doing? Family doesn't show up at the last fucking minute and sit there and try to motherfucking say, oh, are you okay now? That's not family. I don't give a fuck how busy you are. Motherfuckers, don't give me that stupid bullshit. Because you know what? I got friends who got family. I got friends who have kids and responsibilities. And you know what? They still come around. And they still, at least every once in a while, ask how I am. But do you? No, you don't. You disappear.